California struck by magnitude 3.7 and 2.8 quake swarms between the Geysers and Clear Lake volcanic field today. We're going to take a look at them at the map. These are the quakes that were over 2.5 magnitude, because as we know, the Geysers has hundreds of quakes every day because it's a volcano. It has magma underneath, very hot magma, and it has the largest geothermal plant in the world there. But as you'll see, these quakes are only 6 miles from Clear Lake volcanic field, and just the same distance from, even closer that is, to the Geysers. So let's go a little bit more. This is the Geysers here. This is Clear Lake volcanic field right here. And this is where the quake swarm was today. They were about 3 minutes apart. Right here. One here, 3.7 after the 2.8. Right there. In an area of activity. And the distance is, it's about 4 miles to the Geysers, and about, what happened here? Why is it stuck? It's about 6-7 miles up to the Clear Lake volcanic field. The whole thing is volcanic field over here anyway. Now going to this is it right here. And I didn't put in the smaller quakes because if we put them in, we'll just get a little bit dizzy with everything there. So, that's it. Okay. Oh, we had even more here at Clear Lake. They're even smaller, as you can see. But this whole area is basically I guess it's a volcanic field. Where does it stop? When you have another huge magma body there, and you can see the tens of quakes that are there every week. This is the Geysers right there. It has the biggest geothermal plant in the world, and they have been felt. 13 people reported feeling this in the Geysers. I don't know how many people live there because it's mountainous. It's got, let's see what the population is, if we can get the population on here. Population density. Yes, we do have some. Okay, around there. Okay. You have some there. You can see the whole area is shaken, which means that Clear Lake shook as well. Even Clear Lake shook as well, as you can see. Okay, that's for the 3.7. Then we have the 2.8, and I don't think they have the shake map here, but you can understand that just from the this is the San Francisco Bay Area. I don't know if let's see if San Francisco Bay was shaken by this. No, okay. The thing is, though, that it's very close to the Hayward Fault. Let's put on the tectonic plates. Okay, here we go. Take your pick. I mean, you know, it's on the fault lines. This is San Andreas. This is Hayward. This is San Andreas. This is Hayward. A couple of days ago, remember we had the Salinas earthquake here. The Pinnacles earthquake where San Andreas meets the Hayward Fault right here. Salinas Pinnacles. That's where they had the earthquake. And let's see if they have it here, because otherwise they take it off. If we pan out again. Pan out a little bit. It's around here. That thing there. 1.4, no, it was a bigger one than that. Anyway, that's the area though, right here. And the Clear Valley volcano quakes. As you can see there, this is Clear Valley. This is not the geysers. It's not Clear Valley, Clear Lake, I'm sorry. It's not the geysers, it's Clear Lake, which is not far from the geysers. Basically what? Not even 10 miles. So these are all the quakes right there. As you can see, they don't have the 3.7 or the 2.8. This is because it's just at the Clear Lake area. It's a volcanic field, Northern Coast Ranges, California, about 135 kilometers north of San Francisco. The volcanic field consists of lava dome complexes, cinder cones, and maars of basaltic rhyolitic composition. Mount Konocti, a dacitic lava dome on the south shore of Clear Lake, is the largest volcanic feature. The area has intense geothermal activity as well as, geothermal activity here, as well as the geysers geothermal activity, of course. They have the biggest geothermal plant in the country, in the world, I should say, right there. A number of plants working together. And also you have geothermal here. The whole thing here is boiling. Okay, where were we? We took it off. Here we are. Okay. The whole thing here is boiling. And going back. Okay, Clear Lake is the largest volcanic feature. The area has intense geothermal activity caused by a large, still hot silicic magma chamber about 14 kilometers wide, 7 kilometers deep beneath the surface, and it provides a heat source for the geysers. The whole thing here is the geysers then. Clear Lake volcanic field, geysers, the whole thing is one. And how big is it? Let's see, the whole thing is one. Okay, let's up. About 30-40 miles, the whole thing. 34, take your pick. So that whole thing is going back to our quakes. That whole thing there. So it's giving the geothermal activity for the geysers, heat source for the geysers, the world's largest producing geothermal field on the southwest side of the volcanic field. The geothermal power plants can generate approximately 2,000 megawatts, enough to power 2 cities the size of San Francisco. The largest volcanic activity happened there about 10,000 years ago and formed maars and cinder cones along the shores of Clear Lake, the largest natural freshwater lake in California. Volcanism under Clear Lake is related to the complex San Andreas transform fault. Volcanic activity has been largely non-explosive, with the exception of one major explosive eruption that must have occurred and deposited an air fault tuff. Most lavas found here range from basalt to rhyolite in composition. Eruptions at Clear Lake volcanic field, 4 eruptive episodes at time gaps of 150 to 200,000 years, 2.1 million years ago, 1.3 million years ago. Does that sound familiar to you? That's the exact same time span as Yellowstone. 2.1, 1.3, and 640,000 years ago was Yellowstone. Okay, let's see what it says here though. 2.1, 1.3 years ago, and 650,000 years ago. Wow! So it erupted the same time as Yellowstone. Wow! I learned something every day by reading all these things. So, and also 100,000, 10,000 years ago, the total volume of about 100 individual eruptions exceeded 70 cubic kilometers. Eruptive products from first activity episode found in the East Field. So, we have to remember, this thing erupted the same exact time as Yellowstone, all 3 times. 2.1 million years ago, 1.3 million years ago, and here 650,000 years ago. The same exact timing as Yellowstone. Amazing, amazing. And some beautiful pictures of them here, of Clear Lake, and some geysers. And look at this, lava lake from campsite. Wow, okay. And Clear Lake volcano, here we are again. Basaltic, the site of late Pliocene, early Holocene. Cobb Mountain, that's where we had the earthquakes, Cobb Mountain and Mount Konocti, two highest peaks in the volcanic field. And that's where we had our quake, 3.7 Cobb Mountain, right there. It shook the whole area. And let's pull out a little bit. We can see the shake map. Okay. It shook the whole area. Let's go to aerial. That's Cobb Mountain. And it says, okay, because of the San Andreas fault, the whole system, right, basically, the Hayward fault, San Andreas fault, these things, that it was so big. Now, it's, you know, all of these jolt each other. That's not a small quake, as you can see. It's on the Hayward. And a few days ago, we also had the this thing here. Okay, the 4.3 on the Mendocino, the Gorda escarpment. Okay, and so that was pretty strong too. And all of these things, that was, of course, near the San Andreas, and all of these things jolt each other right here. All of these things jolt each other. I'd like to know what's happening in Canada. Let's pull out a little bit because, you know, these Canadian quakes off Vancouver also jolt San Andreas. Okay, it'll take some time to come on. Okay, there we go. Do we have this today? You can see, yeah, that was yesterday. Okay, 1.9. But you can see all the activity here on the West Coast. Just because they don't have them on the USGS map doesn't mean that Canada doesn't have any earthquakes. It just has a lot of earthquakes. And also on the East Coast. Right there. Okay. The extension of the New Madrid seismic zone, which is a rift valley, that has to do with the Great Lakes Mid-Continental Rift. One arm, it's like a horseshoe shape, one arm goes this way, get down through Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and the other arm goes exactly through New Madrid seismic zone, right here. That's a magma plume under there. Magma. They don't know where it's coming from, but it's there. Okay, so this is what happened today. This is what happened. We had the, when you look at the map, everything's so close together. Okay, this is how big it is. On the Hayward Fault, near, it's the fault system of San Andreas. So all of you there, please be very careful. I hope you all have your shake alert apps, so that you're notified in case of shaking in your area. It works with a GPS system and it knows where you are located, and if the shaking is in the area of where you are, they will immediately send you a couple of seconds notice so that you can take cover, and it's important for you to have that because they did tell us that they are expecting major quakes in the area, especially after the Ridgecrest earthquakes. Thank you for your support, and please be careful. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.